what's going on, guys? It's Cynical and welcome back to another episode of Sea Salt Snippets. Today for you guys, we have some spicy topics to talk about, so without further ado, let's just dive straight into it. First up for today, the YouTube series that goes by the name of Man at Arms, which is a series where a group of guys recreate video game weapons, recently recreated the Pirates of the Caribbean Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts 3, which I gotta say, kudos to these guys considering the game isn't even out yet. It's kind of funny that, you know, people are currently already in the swing of making Kingdom Hearts 3 Keyblades. Not just specifically these guys, but I've also seen other people around the community, you know, making the Ever After Keyblade, making the Kingdom Hearts 3 sort of Star Keyblade. People out there are dedicated, and I guess if the designs are out there, why not recreate it, right? So these guys did an absolutely superb job with the Pirates of the Caribbean Keyblade. Unfortunately, as of right now, we don't know the name of this Keyblade, but whatever it's called, they did a really good job with it. One thing that I actually mentioned in this video is that they don't actually do a lot of wood-based work. More so when they're recreating their video game weapons, they prefer to use, you know, like metal materials opposed to that of wood, whereas this Keyblade here for the most part is pretty much entirely made out of wood, as well as cue balls for the detailing of the skulls on the Keyblade. Now this is actually the third Keyblade they've created during Man at Arms. The other two were the classic Kingdom Key, of course, as well as the Oathkeeper. And as a bit of a side note, I just have to say that I absolutely love the look of the Pirates of the Caribbean Keyblade for Kingdom Hearts 3. Follow the Wind, which was the Pirates of the Caribbean Keyblade for Kingdom Hearts 2. I didn't really like that design so much, and I gotta say, when I compare the Keyblade that we're seeing here from Kingdom Hearts 3 to the one in Kingdom Hearts 2, this one is just so much better. From a design standpoint, I really feel as if this Keyblade does a perfect job of representing Pirates of the Caribbean, opposed to something like Follow the Wind. I feel like it was a very basic Keyblade that really didn't do much in the way of actually displaying Pirates of the Caribbean. But all in all, this is a really interesting video. It's about 15 minutes long, so I suggest that you guys do go ahead and check it out for yourselves if you are interested. I will leave the link in the description down below. Next up, Gameblog recently interviewed Tetsuya Nomura to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 and asked the question of, out of all of the worlds from the series, which one is your favorite? A pretty good question. Now, we were actually talking about this exact subject at the start of August when the IGN Brazil interview came out with Tetsuya Nomura. In that interview, they actually sort of asked the same question, and this is what Tetsuya Nomura said. Speaking of the worlds, Nomura laughed when I asked which was his favorite in the franchise. In addition to stating that his favorite world has not yet been revealed, he also confirmed that there will be some original worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, that was from the interview at the start of August. This is his answer out of the recent Gameblog interview. He said, "My favorite world comes from Kingdom Hearts 3. And as we have not shown it yet, I cannot reveal too much. What I can tell you though is that this is the world in which the game's last clash is taking place, and I'm really looking forward to fans discovering and playing it." So when the initial news slice came out, we were sort of speculating that perhaps maybe the favorite world that Tetsuya Nomura is referring to is the final stage of Kingdom Hearts 3, as this has actually been brought up prior to the very first news slice. It's been said that apparently this final place, wherever it might be, is kind of amazing, and apparently like anything can happen. There was some pretty wild words spoken by Square Enix when describing this final location of Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm pumped for it. And it's crazy to now know that apparently out of every single world through the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, apparently this world, the very final place of Kingdom Hearts 3, is Tetsuya Nomura's favorite world. Now, we have been speculating a lot about this whole final stage place for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I definitely believe as if the final stage will in fact be Kingdom Hearts. And from the sounds of it, Tetsuya Nomura is actually saying that this is a world. So I would say this final stage isn't going to just act as like an area or like a stage, but more so of an actual world. I still feel as if we will go to the Keyblade Graveyard at some point in the game, but I do feel as if a lot of us were sort of leaning more so towards the Keyblade Graveyard being the final stage of the game. But obviously, ever since the descriptions of the final stage sort of came out throughout this year, it's clear that the Keyblade Graveyard is likely not out to be the final stage for Kingdom Hearts 3, and rather something entirely different. Now, Tetsuya Nomura did mention that apparently this final stage has not been revealed yet, in which obviously it hasn't, but is this world actually going to be getting revealed? Especially if this is like the final world or stage for Kingdom Hearts 3, are we actually going to see it before the game's release? Now, personally, I don't really want to see whatever this might be before the release of the game itself. It sounds absolutely incredible just from the descriptions we've received from Square Enix and Tetsuya Nomura so far. So as much as I do want to see it like right now, I kind of want to experience it in its entirety for myself via just playing the game. But who knows, we might actually see whatever this place is before the release of the game, just from what Tetsuya Nomura is actually saying right here. And last up for today, within Every Eye's interview with Tetsuya Nomura very recently, they asked the question of whether or not costumes will change up the gameplay experience for Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, this question is obviously in reference to that of drive forms, obviously in Kingdom Hearts 2. That was one of the cool big new features, was of course drive forms, a system that allowed you to switch outfits on the go, which would also switch up Sora's combos, and would also allow Sora to perform abilities he otherwise wouldn't be able to normally. This is the question right here. They said, even in previous games, clothes became a playful excuse to give life to the drive forms, which, in terms of gameplay, gave enormous variety to the combat system and to the playful experience. Will we find the same manic attention to the use of clothing in Kingdom Hearts 3? Nomura said no, this time the clothes of the protagonists will have no effect on the gameplay or the combat phases, but the type of battle that you can manage will depend exclusively on the use of the Keyblades. The form they will take is the very representation of this novelty and will have no direct effect on the characters. So as we know, the Keyblade transformation system is one of the big new features for Kingdom Hearts 3, and in a sense it's sort of an evolution of that of drive forms. However, with actually having some hands-on time with the Keyblade transformations, for me personally, I feel as if Keyblade transformations definitely lean more towards command styles that were found in Birth by Sleep, rather than the drive form system we found in Kingdom Hearts 2. That being said though, we do know that when you actually use a Keyblade transformation in Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora's outfit will actually change. However, to every single Keyblade transformation in the game, that doesn't necessarily mean there is a different outfit to go along with that. Keyblade transformations, as we know, are divided into different groups, one being a power group, one being a magic group, another one also being a defensive group, and to each of these groups there are different outfits to represent that. So for instance, the power group is represented by a red outfit, the defensive guard group is represented by an orange outfit, and the magic group is represented by a blue outfit, in which we know is used for the Ever After Keyblade transformations, as well as Sora's new Star Keyblade transformation. So when you look at the aesthetic style of Keyblade transformations and compare them to that of drive forms, they are sort of similar, because we still do have the change in outfits going on when we do activate Keyblade transformations in Kingdom Hearts 3, just as we would if we were to activate a drive form in Kingdom Hearts 2. And essentially, Kingdom Hearts 2, when you look at the switch in outfit when you activate a drive form, is essentially just a color palette swap, with some added extra little detailing to maybe Sora's pants or top, but for the most part, Sora is still wearing his Kingdom Hearts 2 attire, just with a different color. And that's exactly what we see with the outfits attached to the Keyblade transformation. So I don't entirely understand Tetsuya Nomura's comment towards this. We still do have the change in outfits going on with the quote-unquote form system in Kingdom Hearts 3. He mentioned right here that the clothing won't really have any direct effect on characters, and in Kingdom Hearts 2, drive forms actually did affect other characters. You guys should know that in order to use Valor Form, we require Goofy in the party. In order to use Wisdom Form, we require Donald in the party. And activating one of these forms would then remove the required party member entirely from the party whilst actually using that form. So I guess that's kind of one thing we're dropping here with Keyblade transformations, which honestly is sort of a good thing. I think pretty much what Tetsuya Nomura is trying to say right here is that drive forms are not a thing in Kingdom Hearts 3, and this time around, the focus is more so towards the Keyblades and how they transform. And like I said, I don't feel as if Keyblade transformations are drive forms to a degree, although they definitely remind me a lot of drive forms. Like I said, I feel like they lean more towards command styles than anything else. But guys, with all that being said, that is going to wrap up today's episode of Sea Salt Snippets. In the comment section down below, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions. However, dudes, hopefully you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. I'm Cynical, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.
Hit him on the page, you'll be coming through stunning. Gold in my mouth when you suckers be bluffing. Milk crank, gaming up the bitch though. Catch me in the back playing Super Nintendo.